What's up, everybody? NJ Retro coming back at you with another pickup video. This time from AVGC, stands for A Video Game Con. It was held in Parsippany, New Jersey this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, at the PAL building, the Police Athletic League building. I went with my buddy Paul, who has never actually been to a true retro video game convention. I'm going to show you my pickups from this convention, so let's go. First off, I picked up Super Mario RPG. It says 35 bucks, got it for 25. For $10, I got a complete in-box copy of Teen Titans 2. For $5, as you can see on the box, a complete copy of Moon Patrol and Spy Hunter on the Game Boy Color. For $15, a guy named Bob, who vends at the local swap meet that we have, flea market, Columbus. He actually carries all kinds of retro stuff and always has a great selection, and everything's usually in really good condition, and his prices are always reasonable. So I managed to score for only 15 bucks. Mind you, there's no carts in these, but a box and manual for Final Fight 1 on the Game Boy Advance in fantastic shape, and a box and manual with all the inserts for Astro Boy, the Omega Factor on the GBA, which is just an amazing game. If you've never played this, snatch it up as quick as you can. The prices are climbing like crazy, and this game is definitely worth every penny. So that completes these two games for me. Now, kind of a strange deal. I showed up to the Video Games Monthly booth, and if you don't know who those guys are, they do a loot crate style setup where you pay a monthly fee, and in the mail, depending on how much you pay, comes retro games. They have like a 3-game, a 4-game, a 5-game setup. And super nice guys. They do a really nice job with the box. I don't actually currently subscribe to it because I already have most of what they would have sent me. But if you're starting out, definitely a good thing to look into. But they had a box of manuals, instruction manuals on the table. We came to an agreement of 30 bucks. So here's kind of what I got. I'm not going to show everything, obviously, because there's just too much. It was upwards of 100 manuals for 30 bucks. So I snagged it up because of all of these original Game Boy manuals. Tons of them, just a huge stack. Look at this thing. Also included in that was a small stack of GBA manuals, which it had a couple decent ones in there, like Super Mario Advance and Lilo and Stitch 2, which I heard is actually a pretty decent platformer. It also had a good stack of Game Boy Color manuals. Again, these kind of, Game Boy boxes are getting harder to find, complete in boxes getting harder to find, and manuals are always good to have. Also in the box was a small stack of NES manuals. In addition to that, there was a couple Genesis manuals, which was Crew Ball being the highlight in here, and a stack finally of Super Nintendo manuals. Some sports titles, there's Pilot Wings, Lion King, Dragon, Tetris 2. There's just an On the Ball, which is a really weird one I've never seen. Just a decent little stack of SNES stuff. Along with a few sports boxes. Boxes are always good to get, even sports titles. So all of that, 30 bucks. I thought that was a fantastic deal. At another booth for $10, I snagged a copy of Battletoads in Ragnarok World, the instruction manual, a original NES map for Legend of Zelda, and a Link to the Past map for Super Nintendo. I have a couple boxed original Zeldas on NES, and none of them have the maps. So I'm always on the lookout for maps. I snagged 2 Game Gear games from the same table. They were 3 bucks a piece. Surf Ninjas and Ariel in The Little Mermaid. I'm pretty close. I'd say at least halfway towards a complete Game Gear set. I was a Game Gear kid. I had them, I was the oddball that had the Game Gear instead of a Game Boy. So they hold a special place in my heart. For 8 bucks, nabbed a copy of Advanced Wars 2 on the GBA. A more uncommon one, it was originally marked 12, I got it for 10. A copy of Muppet Pinball Mayhem. And then for 5 bucks a piece, I grabbed 2 copies of Super Dodgeball on the Game Boy Advance, because Super Dodgeball is an amazingly great game, and these I'll probably trade off. For 30 bucks, I grabbed a loose copy of Sunset Riders on the Genesis. I already have the box and manual, oddly enough, and I'm not sure quite how I came across them, but I had no cart. And this one's in good shape. The label's pretty decent. And this game is also climbing in value like crazy. Loose cart's going most of the time for about 40 bucks and complete for like 75 to 80. So I'm happy to complete my copy. And also, I got from the Retro Game Con table, here's their flyer here. It's going to be November 5th and 6th at the On Center in Syracuse, New York. I attended this convention last year, and they had on their table magnets for the convention from last year, so I was happy to grab this because I didn't get it when I was there. And a little Game Boy pin. I love grabbing pins because I put them on my backpack that I take to conventions. So again, Retro Game Con, November 5th and 6th in Syracuse. If you've never been to this show, I highly recommend you attend. And last but not least is the art. People pour their heart and soul into this stuff, so please support your local artists when you see them at shows. For my wife, I grabbed this Alice in Wonderland print. She's a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, and with the new movie coming out, she's been thrown into a fervor for it, so I made sure I picked something up for her. We're huge fans of Hayao Miyazaki and all of Studio Ghibli stuff, so I picked up this mashup piece, which includes most of the characters from Miyazaki's films. I thought it was beautiful, especially Calcifer down there in the corner. Picked up this awesome Fooly Cooly print. If you've never seen Fooly Cooly, it is a crazy anime with only a handful of episodes, and it's just bizarre and so much fun to watch. Me and my wife love it, and we've watched this series probably, I don't know, half dozen to a dozen times at least all the way through. She also threw in for free 2 stickers, a Ditto and a Magikarp sticker. I grabbed a set of Full Metal Alchemist pins. See if I can get them here on camera to show up fairly well. But they're kind of a, I guess a chibi kawaii style, and they're just super cool. I love Full Metal Alchemist. Another show that we've watched many, many times through. And last but not least, and like I said, these are just super cool. I was so happy to pick these up. And that set of 6 buttons was only $8. So, I'd say that's about it. Overall, AVGC was a great time. It is doubled in attendance from last year. I believe it was somewhere in the range of 1,500 last year, and it was over 3,000 people this year. It's put on by Paul Solomon, and he did a great job this year. I never felt cramped, which is a really, really big plus for conventions. Some of them can be so congested, like MagFest, that it makes it uncomfortable sometimes. So it's nice to kind of have some elbow room and be able to walk up to booths and look casually without being kind of shoved out of the way. And I don't know, I can't really say much more about it. It was just a great show. The free play arcade was set up really well. They had some great guests this year, like Pat the NES Punk and Norm the Gaming Historian. I got to talk to Pat for a little while, and I picked up his book, which is out in my living room, The Ultimate Guide to NES. Fantastic book. It is $60, which is a little bit unnerving for some, but the print quality and the overall it's huge. It's like 3 inches thick and weighs like 40 pounds. It's enormous. And it's great. It's such a good coffee table book. I would definitely recommend it if you have a chance to pick it up. And that's about all. So I will see you guys at Retro Game Con, which is my next convention I'll be attending, November 5th and 6th. And aside from that, you'll be checking out my new pickups as they come in. Well, it's been nice talking to you guys. NJ Retro, out.